Hey guys, this is Chastity. So this semester I have focused my research on ADHD in students, which is, if you're not familiar with ADHD, it is attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, and that is a neurodevelopment disorder that affects the person or the student that is diagnosed with the trouble concentrating, inability to pay attention. It has nothing to do with how smart the kid is. The student has to realize what their strengths and weaknesses are. ADHD is so prevalent now. I'm sure that either you guys might be diagnosed, your kids, or you know somebody that has ADHD. And the treatment for ADHD is pretty diverse. Everybody has an individualized treatment plan. Myself, my kids, like I said, we're all three diagnosed and we're all treated differently. Unfortunately, me using a mental health diagnosis, I was unable to use the human body as a tool. However, we were given so many research options from the teacher that I was able to dig a little deeper in several of those and find a lot of good information that was not only helpful for my research, but helpful for me as a person that is diagnosed with ADHD as well. I learned that the CDC says that approximately 7 million children in the U.S. are diagnosed with ADHD, and that's only between the ages of 3 and 17. And it is estimated that about 15.5 adult Americans are diagnosed with ADHD, and that sounds like so many people, but that's really only the people that have an actual diagnosis from their doctor saying, hey, you have this. Like I said, there are so many treatments for ADHD. Myself, it took a lot of playing with medicines to figure out which one works for me. I have to be medicated to have any kind of normalcy at all, especially when it comes to schoolwork, because I found that I can't sit down and pay attention for very long periods of time. So of the 7 million children that are diagnosed with ADHD, only about 3.3 million of those are on a medication. And of the 15.5 million Americans that are diagnosed, only about a third of those take a stimulant medication as well. Both of my kids are medicated. However, one does really well with behavioral therapy and praise. If she does something right, her teacher, praises her for it, she'll continue to want to do that. My son, he takes a medication as well. He does well with redirection. Sometimes you might have to tell him 2 or 3 times, this is what you need to do, this is what you need to do. And usually he does pretty good. The things that people or students have trouble with are making careless mistakes, having trouble following directions. Especially in a classroom, it seems like you're having a lot of problems paying attention and getting in trouble. Organization can be an issue. Makes it hard to complete tasks. I have so many planners at home, and sticky notes are everywhere in hopes that I can manage to get everything done without forgetting something. And there's been several times this semester within my classes that I have forgot to turn something in, and I've had a couple zeros because I forgot to turn it in, but I can only blame that on myself. It is important, I feel like, in a school setting that teachers realize what a kid's weaknesses and strengths are so that they can play with that and kind of help the kid flourish and not feel stigmatized. It is important not to stigmatize a student because of their diagnosis, but rather focus on how that student learns and the changes that can be made within their school day to kind of help them flourish, whether it be more breaks or letting them have fidget toys, or getting them walking to the bathroom, doing an errand for the teacher. Luckily, my kids so far have had really great teachers that figure out what their strengths are, what their weaknesses are, and help them with that. I hope you guys had all the best luck with your research this semester. It's been a great semester, and I feel like I have learned a lot and learned how I'm able to learn through this and how I'm able to do research and dig a little deeper to find the things that I need to do in not just this class, but every other class that I'm going to take in the future. I hope you guys all have a great rest of this semester, and going forward, I hope you guys have great semesters too. Thank you.